headache is relentlessly thumping against my back of my head as I push open the door to the 22nd corner. Apart from that, I'm perfectly calm. After venting on Rin all the anger that I had bottled inside, it felt like a great weight had been lifted from my heart. The tension had grasped my mind for the past few weeks and faded away without leaving even a shadow behind. The nearly zen-like state of enlightenment, I realized that perhaps it was a bad idea to yell at her like that. I really meant it, but what good does blowing up like that do? Nothing. I am not like that. I don't normally yell at people. I don't know why I did yesterday. So I keep feeling really guilty about it and wanting to take my words back. Rin was probably upset too, even more than my own behavior. Her reaction shocked me. I've always thought of her as unchanging, detached from her surroundings, so that seeing my yelling get to her upset felt out of place. I wonder if she understands how I feel. In Rin's world, everything seems to be so absolutely subjective, as if she was completely unable to see things from the other point of view than her own. But ultimately, is anyone able to do it? Maybe objectively and altruism are just illusions for people who like to think of themselves as compassionate, just like art is an illusion for people who think reality is merely a veil for something greater. Even when you stop thinking about that the world revolves around you, or start thinking outside the mythical box, or you are just inside another bigger box that you can't escape, maybe that ultimately makes her like the rest of us. I stepped through the door to find a gallery full of illusion people. Despite size and remark during my earlier visits, I always thought the very spacious, but now when it's crowded like this, it looks positively crowded. I immediately noticed I standing in the middle of a lively discussion, busily chattering with some old gentleman. She's actually pretty tall and kind of cool looking. She stands out in the crowd. There are a few dozen wine glasses laid out on the table, along with a back wall filled with burgundy liquid. The vast majority of the guests are sipping from their own glasses. Society and art connoisseurs are mingling happily, exchanging mild opinions about Rin's art, which seems to be a secondary object of interest for most. I feel distance, excluded from the other people here. I can't claim even at a stretch to be a social chameleon, so the situation is quite unnerving. Since I don't blend into the crowd at all, I just fake that I do, trying to look as cool and smooth as I can. I wonder how Ren is handling all this. If it was me, I'd be quite freaked out. Throwing the anxiety aside, I try to carefully navigate through the crowd, stealing a peek at the framed paintings now hanging on the walls. Ren's exhibition takes about half the gallery's wall space. Some paintings are less familiar than the others, but I recognize most of them. Some have been created at the club meetings, after all. I remember from the time when Ren was choosing her portfolio. I note that a couple of them are finished paintings are framed on the wall as well. Maybe that's what they call coincidental art. Even Ren's failures, if you can call them that, became exhibits of her skill. Quite paradoxical. She herself is nowhere to be seen, which is strange because even though it's crowded, the gallery is pretty small. It's fine, sort of. I don't know how to face her after yesterday. Maybe you shouldn't have even come, but I promised various people, and included, that I would, so... Damn. It sounds like I do the things I do because some of the instinctual properness compels me to. Not because I would be sensible or not. I sneak closer to the side to wait for a lull in the conversation so I can chat her up too. Even though her voice is almost completely buried under the general background noise, I hear bits and pieces of her talking about Rin. Yes, she's a high schooler at a local school. Even though she's graduating next year, I'm sure various art schools would be interested in. I thought it'd be interesting to have an exhibition of someone who's still nearly in stages of development. It's so strange. It's like Rin is some kind of mini celebrity, even though this is nothing but a small exhibition opening at a small art gallery of a small town. In fact, there's a friend of mine from... It's Sal. My eavesdrop is interrupted by a familiar voice and a small, familiar slap to the back. I don't need to guess the source either. Maybe I should say, it's a Sal. Or, it's a Sal. I don't know. Hi, Amy. Hi. Are you like a representative of our club or something? I don't see anyone else from the school here. Um, I don't know really. I guess I am in that case. What about you? What about me? Er, don't you think I'm interested in art? Is that it, Sal? Or you didn't think I was interested in art? No, that's not what well, maybe a little, if you put it that way. I mean, even though you hang out with Rin, I've never heard you talk about art with her, so... Emmy huffs and looks around her, looking discontented. It's true, I don't get it all, but she came to my track meet, so I thought it's only fair to return the favor. She leans closer, trying to look confidential, but only imagining to look conspiring. Do you get art? No. No, I don't. At all. An emphasizing headshake draws a giggle and a cheery headshake of her own out of Emmy. Me neither. Hey, let's go talk with Rin. I bet you haven't talked yet, because I haven't either. Oh, well... That's gonna be weird. Come on! Don't feel like talking. Oh, there she is. Before she has a chance to forcefully drag me to Rin, Maya appears to sit behind her with Rin in his tow. She's not dressed for the occasion, instead opting for the usual school uniform and unkempt hair. Maybe her natural look is what suits her the best. Hello, teacher. Hi, Rin. Unfazed, Emmy greets the teacher cheerfully, causing him to turn around and look down confusedly. Who are you? I'm Emmy from school, class 3-4. Don't you remember? She looks positively shocked at the prospect that there can be a person who doesn't know her. Oh, sorry. You're in the same class as Zuka, is right? Yeah. You'll have to pardon me. I have trouble remembering students who don't take art. Don't mind. Hi, Rin. Hello. Congratulations for your super cool art thing. I'm sure you'll be a big hit. She throws her arms in the air for boisterous emphasis, almost hitting me in the face. And look, Sal came too. Rin doesn't look at me, nor should she greet me. Congratulations, Rin. She keeps averting her gaze, pointedly looking at her sandals. Oblivious to the tension between us and ignorant of what happened yesterday, Emmy keeps blabbering about this and that to an unresponsive Rin. I guess she gets used to not getting much out of her at times. Before long, the Maya inside turned to Rin, introducing her. Expecting it, I catch a second of the confusion when the guests see her arms. Sai is luckily on the ball and briefly explains about her school. Doubtfully, his face is quickly changed to curious. Would you mind telling us about something about your art? I thought the development is quite easily noticeable. What did you yourself think of the difference between the older and more current works? It's quite rare for some young dabble into abstraction. It would have been interesting to see how you work. Oh, definitely. I assume you use your feet. It must have been great trouble to learn, and you should be proud. I, will you be pursuing a career as an artist after school? She's bombarded by so many questions, you can't even hope to answer all of them. Maybe that's for the best. Rin tends to talk nonsense more than occasionally. So where do you get your ideas? That's the fifth worst. Rin keeps stumbling with her words, looking more and more vexed by the expectant inquiries. Everyone is waiting for her to say something, but she looks like a cat got her tongue. Each questioning piling up just adds to her distress. I fail to hear the question that is a proverbial one too many. It's like motor stalling. Rin just freezes for a long second until she falls on her knees, hitting the floor ungracefully like a sack of potatoes. Are you alright? I don't know. Suzuka, what's wrong, girl? I don't know what's wrong. A terrible silence falls upon the people gathered around her. Everything is petrified, not knowing how to react to her sudden seizure or something. She breathes with deep, trembling gasps as if she was running out of air, staring ahead of herself with hollow eyes. Seeing that nobody does anything, I force myself to step to Rin and lift her up from the floor, letting her lean against me, keep standing. Would you like some fresh air? Okay, let's go outside for a bit. I don't even wait for her to answer before grasping her shoulders and pulling her past the stunned looking at Namaya, Stai, Emmy, and Guess. Excuse us. The cool evening breeze hits us. Is my face at the door. I let go of Rin and she leans against the stone wall, trying to catch her breath. Are you alright? I couldn't say anything. Rin is still not looking at me, so I look away too. The streetlight's colored neon signs twist my vision into a blur of near blindness, forcing me to look back. At least she talks, even if she's not directing her words to me. What did you want to say? Maybe both of us can imagine that we were talking to an invisible friend. I don't know. Something that would have meant something. The silence lasts for a long time. I don't feel comfortable being alone with Rin. I'm not good at imagining things that don't exist, or that things that exist don't. We should go back in. The guests I invited are in there. They probably wanted me to talk with you. You know, ask you questions and stuff about those paintings you worked so hard for. I don't want them to ask me questions like that. I can never say the right things. What do you want then? That's something that someone would have to ask questions for me. Alright. That someone wouldn't have to ask questions from me. But aren't you happy that a lot of people are interested in your paintings? Or, what if you found someone like that? Then what? Well, I'd say we go with this one. But if you found someone like that, then what? Do you really think it would be some kind of be-all, end-all thing? Star-crossed lovers and happily ever after? My question is met with a blank stare. The darkness is in her eyes, unfazed by the thinly veiled bitterness. No, I don't think that. But at least then I wouldn't have to be alone. She whispers the words to the light of the town, but I hear them anyway. I shouldn't have done this. Not yet. Exhibition? She nods and closes her eyes, breathing calmly out, as if to prove she can, and continues talking to herself. Why? Wrong conjunction of the planets? No, not that. I double-checked and I got up with the left foot and did nothing else. I did everything else right. It's me. I was wrong. She stands straight and stretches before stepping past me out on the street. Wait, where are you going? She stops in her tracks and turns around, looking at me quizzically. School. I'm leaving. What? Why? Because I want to be me. Rin walks off, leaving me behind, utterly confused. Rin! But something she said really touched me. Or maybe it was the way she said it. Maybe it was the fact that she said it. I wanted to say something back to her before I forget this feeling again, as if granting me a wish. Rin stops in her tracks. She doesn't turn around, just keeps waiting for me to say what I wanted, even though I didn't have the time to think what. Rin, listen, I don't believe you have to be alone, even if you never meet anyone like that. I don't know if she heard my words, but either way, she didn't react in any way. For the final time, she starts walking away from the gallery. So, where's Tezuka? I can only shake my head, but it doesn't seem to be sufficient answer. I had to say something. She ran away. What? Horrific realization spreads on his face like wildfire. This is a fiasco, catastrophe. What is this girl thinking? The most important event of her life, and she just runs off? And you, why didn't you stop her? I'm gonna hold you personally responsible. Sai interrupts him, holding her hand up calmly. It's good she intervened. The teacher was starting to get a few weird looks from the nearby guests. No, Shinji. She probably just had stage fright. I don't know her as well as you people do, but I did get the image that she is somewhat peculiar. This kind of thing can happen. It'll be fine. I'll explain that she suddenly became ill. The guests will surely understand. But look around you. Everyone seems to be rather happy with the free wine and chit-chat. The guests will be fine, but we are missing our opportunities here. Networking, making contacts and acquaintances. And I don't keep arguing about something that can't be helped. Amy tugs my sleeve to get my attention. She doesn't look very happy either. Come on. Where? I'm gonna find Rin and kick her ass. What? I can't believe it. She's so stupid. That Rin, how can she do this? I'm telling you, she doesn't have a bit of common sense in her head. Emmy is seriously angry, only missing steam rising from her ears. I guess I understand Emmy. She is that kind of person. Give up. It's never felt like a part of her vocabulary, and maybe she feels it shouldn't be part of anyone's vocabulary. It's probably best to leave her alone for tonight. What? Are you a Rin expert now? She takes a firm stance and puts her hands on her hips confrontedly. It's like she wants to pick a fight with me too. No, I don't think that's even possible in the first place. I just don't think kicking her ass would do her any good. A melancholic remark surprisingly works, as Emmy slumps her shoulders a little and sighs. I know that. You do? The last time I did that, it changed nothing. The ride back to school and an empty late-night bus is silent. Both of us keeping staring at the lights flashing past the windows without saying a word. The nightly grounds are quiet, lit only by the wan moon and yellow lampposts. We say our goodnights in front of the dormitory. Abby reflects, clenching her fist compels me to ensure that she won't sell Rin the moment I let her out of my sight. Promise me to not go scold her. She looks up at me, her eyes again flaring with anger that I match with a calming stare as I can. It's only easy to face an angry woman if you're not the target of her ire. After a minute of mismatching staring contest, she sighs and shakes her head in defeat. You're too nice, Sal. Did you know that? Hints of a smile tugging at the corner of her mouth as she says that. She seems a lot more relaxed. What a sudden change of mood. Maybe she wasn't as angry as it seemed to begin with. Maybe her mood changed easily. If it was, I would have let you have your way. Does that mean you were only nice to Rin? Both of us are hiding a concern behind empty jokes, but at least it puts me in a good mood. Amy wiggles her eyebrow with a half-amused smirk, trying to push my buttons. Not gonna work. No, it just means I'm not nice only to you. Hey! Good night, Emmy. The last day before summer vacation is waning slowly. Science is the final exam of the trimester, and then we are free. The collective yearning for liberty is almost palpable in the classroom, even though the weather seems a tad cloudy. It might rain today. Who knows? I already finished the test because it was pretty easy. I'm easily on the flip side of the paper, waiting for Matata time. That also prevents Misha from trying to covertly look at my answers over my shoulder. She might fool the inattentive teacher, but I can tell that she's trying to look. I guess it's her best bet at passing the test. Doesn't make me feel any mercy though, so I just ignore her and look around me. It's quiet. The only sound in the classroom are quiet shuffling of papers and Metallic's constant coughing. It makes my awareness of the surroundings slowly drift to the backstage of consciousness, giving room to other things. Vacation, huh? Some people will stay at school. Even over the holidays, some will go back to their families. I don't know what to do. I should go buy a train ticket for my trip back home, but I can't bring myself to do it. I'm gonna get a call from home again. Mom's gonna pester me about when I'm coming back, and I'm not going to know what to answer. This is really lousy. In the current state of things with Rin, it feels like I can't just bail out of here and pretend we are through. And now, She has other problems of her own. I thought the exhibition opening would give her a breather, but I was totally mistaken. The tingle just seems to thicken. A sharp knock on the door interrupted the quiet but frantic mood for at least 15 minutes of the exam. Come in. The open door reveals the art teacher, who steps in his jacket, swirling around him as though a gust of wind. He glances at Matao, who glances back at him. Frowns spread simultaneously on both of their faces. The men measure each other with their gazes. Excuse me, can I borrow Mr. Nakai for a moment? Excuse me, Mr. Namaya. We are in the middle of an exam here. A chilly atmosphere suddenly spreads in the middle of the summer afternoon as the two men try to stare each other down. This is urgent. It seems that Nakai is already finished. Both men turn to look at me, staring at me like a pair of basilisks trying to petrify a tasty snack. It's true that I've been idle for a good while now, so Namaya is right, but... Nakai, would you like to check your answers one more time? Matao speaks with an odd intonation, weighing certain words as if trying to send a message. The pressure of their stares make me rapidly shake my head, which is apparently interpreted as an answer of some sort. Very well, Nakai. Go out, Mr. Manaya, if you will. Take your bag with you. Bring your test paper to my desk. You have a nice vacation. You too, Miss Teacher. Entire world, well, at least the classroom seems to hold its breath just for a moment, putting the exam on hold until I stand up, collect my stuff, and walk to the door. I feel the stairs in my back of the neck. My classmates probably think I'm in some detention or something on the last day of school before summer vacation. I don't know what the teacher wants from me, but I can guess it probably is not detention, and also that it probably has something to do with the run again. Maya doesn't take me anywhere, contenting himself with the hallway as it's completely abandoned. Do you know where Tezuka is? Still, she's trying to avoid the teacher. Part of the course, probably. I wonder if she realizes that she can't avoid dealing with this indefinitely. I have no idea. You probably asked from her homeroom next door. Of course I have. I've searched every nook and cranny of this blasted school and the girls' dorm. You're the last one to see her since yesterday, and you're her friend. Worked with me here, aren't you worried? I am, but I don't know what I could do. Ren did something incomprehensible yesterday, even for her. She seemed really confused. Maybe she just wanted some time to think then. I got the feeling that she had second thoughts about having an exhibition or something. She really didn't explain what was wrong. What second thoughts? I don't know, just got that feeling. I'm being a little dishonest with the teacher, but this is not something I should be meddling with. He came to me yesterday. Yes, why? Maybe he thinks I'm some kind of confident of Rin's, but I don't think it can help with the matter. The teacher huffs and scratches his head in confusion. What's up with that girl? This is unlike her. She's always been so goal-driven. Goal-driven? So don't really strike me as words to describe Rin with. To me, she always felt as obsessive at best. I don't mean to be rude, but wasn't it you who pushed Rin to the direction in the first place? Her goal is my goal. This is a mentor's job. I guess so. I just don't know if painting can make her happy. That's pretty preposterous of you to say, Nakai. She suddenly sounded pretty irate. Did I say something stupid? You don't understand, do you? It's not a question of happiness. For every gain, there is sacrifice to be made. There's no free lunch, but would I let that girl waste away her talent if she had a moment of doubt? Never. Painting is work just like any other. Tezuka might make it look like child's play to you, but she works very hard every day to make her art. To become extraordinary, one has to make extraordinary effort. The more the teacher talks, the more I feel like Rin doesn't think like that, even though I have no idea how she thinks. I could very well understand why she would sacrifice some aviation and make up for the lost class and exams to get the chance of showing her art. This is the path she had taken, and to go all the way, and that's not easy. I know she's young, and things are hard for her, just like for all the kids in here, in the school, but that's no excuse. He's finished. But, do you have anything like what art is to, do you have anything like what art is to Tezuka? No. That's right. I have only vaguely idea of my future. No goal to shoot for, no dream to blindly reach for. I joined the art club in search for something I could be interested in, to get inspired by. Did I find something like that? All I found was, in the end, was Rin. No, I don't have a passion like that. And you can't understand. This flat statement allows no counter-argument, but she might not even understand herself. Still, I carry on arguing out of spite for nothing else. How could she not? She's been at it for so hard for the past few weeks that she put off even coming to school. Not to say anything about attending class, don't be ridiculous. I don't think I'm being ridiculous, but as I have no rebuttal, Namaya seems to consider this one his win. At any rate, the opening was quite successful despite Tezuka hardly showing up. Many people were interested in her work, and one piece was even sold for a reasonable price. Well, that's nice, isn't it? Yes, it's fantastic news. I hope that Tezuka would come to her senses when she had heard about this, but... He sighs and takes off his glasses, cleaning them against his jacket before putting them on his nose again. At any rate, I should be going. This is the first mess to be settled with Sai and everyone. If you see Tezuka, please ask her to come see me. Otherwise, have a nice vacation. Thanks. After that, he disappeared around the corner. I pondered where Rin could really be. It feels like she has not one, but at least half a dozen of the secret places. I balance between the desire to solve this tangle and to drop it for good. The discussed classroom is just a few feet away. What to do?